Hi, welcome back to the channel. So, on today's episode, we are going to be talking about something very interesting, at least to me, yeah. And I figured since majority of the people watching this channel are females, yeah, no shade to the males too. Well, it's a close tie, but yeah, whatever. Majority of the people watching this channel are females. So I figured, yeah, let's talk about something that interests me or that intrigues me as a female medical doctor, as a young female medical doctor. Yes, let's add that, and that is seeing older, more accomplished women in medicine still having their family, mothers, and all of that, thriving in all different aspects of their life. That is, I feel, what intrigues me or what interests me a lot. And most of the time, I'm usually very astonished. I'm usually very amazed when I see them. And also very inspired whenever I see them. And the question I always have in my mind, yeah, is how are you freaking able to pull all of this up? Do you get, like, how are you able to handle all of this and not lose your identity as a person? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you're watching this video, maybe you have had similar questions in your mind about, yeah, female medical doctors and those high achievers and people that, yeah, still holding down their families and all whatnot. Yeah, I feel like this is one of the biggest responsibilities. This is one of the biggest, yeah, callings, especially as a woman, being a mother. Yeah, but then combining it with a field as demanding as being also a surgeon, a medical doctor. Yeah, it can be very crazy and very very demanding. I follow a lot of neurosurgeons, a lot of female doctors, a lot of almost very very crazy set of people on Instagram, honestly, and they've been a source of inspiration to me. Yeah, but one thing I keep asking myself, I had the boldness to post about it on Twitter one certain time, but I don't think I got as much responses. Yeah, and I feel like a lot more people are having this question. How are you able to combine all of this? Did you have to make a compromise? Did you have to compromise your family? Did you have to compromise your career? Yeah. What exactly did you have to give up? Or did you just find a way to make everything work? And what factors helped you to find a way to make everything work? Actually, and this makes me remember all the conversations I've had with my chiefs while doing my housemanship in FMC Umaya. One of such was very, very, I don't know whether annoying or chilling. I think that's a better word. Chilling, yeah. And that was with my chiefs. We were on call one particular day, and majority of the people in my unit then, I'm not going to mention the unit, were all females, yeah. And he happened to be one of the females. Yeah, we had two males, but at least one other of my colleague was leaving the unit, so he was now going to be the only male in the unit. Yeah, and it was very weird. Yeah, and we just all of a sudden jumped into the conversation. Well, I was doing most of the listening. Yeah, he was talking with my colleagues and all, and the conversation swerved towards the whole how women are getting usually getting away with a lot, and then more demands are being placed on the males, and they have to do all the covering up and all whatnot. Do you get that kind of a thing? In fact, it was so much like a patriarchy kind of thing. Like, well, he emphasized how women were not suited for certain kind of roles, yeah, and how, well, just leave it up to the male. If you know you're not going to be able to do that, just leave it. I'm paraphrasing here, but you get where the conversation was going to. And I, during the listening, I was really upset by what he was saying, and I was trying to understand what he meant by that, or like I was, well, I feel more or less I was in bit of a doubt, like, is this how you really think? But then them is coming out of your lips, so yeah, you might believe exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, I just figured, okay, this is how exactly he thinks. But I don't see that that is true. I don't feel like a lot of women get to go away or to, yeah, be given the soft landing or the soft foot exactly whenever it comes to um things related to medicine, things being on calls and all whatnot. I don't know. I really want to know what your experience or what your thoughts are like. Honestly, in all honesty, yeah, I really want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I want to honestly know. But still does not compare to the experience I had later on, like a couple months later. Sort of like, I don't know, it felt like the person telling me this now that I'm going to say was trying to, like, bring me out of the whole stop being ambitious, stop trying to be a surgeon, stop trying to do so much. You're still going to have to give birth to children, you're still going to have to take care of your children. That kind of conversation, yeah. And this is where at the office one certain day we're waiting for the clinic to start. Yeah, patients were still coming out, nurses were still checking their vitals and all. And yeah, I had just finished clocking a patient that just came so early, and then my chief was like, which specialty are you going to go to? And I was trying to answer the question, yeah, when he now reiterated and said, well, that's, you have to choose a specialty that is going to help you to combine, being a mother, raising a family, and still, yeah, thriving in your medical career. You're going to have to choose a soft, let me call it a soft department, literally, yeah. And I was taken aback, kind of, yeah. And it still raised a lot of questions in my mind about how are women able to pull this off? My cardiothoracic surgeon, well, apparently she was like an auxiliary consultant. Um, she wasn't a full time year consultant in FMC Umaya, so she was always coming and going. So we didn't really have as much time. Whenever she came, it was either do a drown, do surgery, and yeah, see some patients. Yeah, so it was like three, and yeah, see some patients in clinic. So it was like three in one kind of visiting she was always doing. So we didn't really have the time to start having such conversations. But this is something that has literally been on my mind. Did you have to make a compromise if you are a senior colleague, yeah, and you're maybe in this category that I'm talking about? Please, I really want to have or hear your opinion. And I'm making this video, yeah, because I know a lot more females, a lot more girls out there, a lot more doctors, young female doctors out there. I feel they also have the same kind of questions. Yeah, they are looking to raise families and also if you're one of these, yeah, fine. Say hi in the comment section. But that's by the way, yeah. So back to the, yeah. So did you have to make a compromise? Was there anything you have to give up? Did you have to wait maybe for your husband to finish or attain the pinnacle of his career and then before you now start struggling behind him and all of that? Or did, like, what compromise did you have to make? Did you have a very supporting partner that lets you be or lets you explore your medical options and your, yeah, your choices of specialty and all of that? What were the situations surrounding your choice of specialty? What were the situations surrounding you raising children and all of that? And this brings me to a particular chief of mine. Yeah, she was a resident while I was doing my housemanship, and I so much admire them. Now there were a couple, yeah. The husband was in very, like, I think they were one of the best set of people I ever worked with, honestly. So I was in obstetrics and gynecology. When I was in obstetrics and gynecology, I happened to work with the husband. Yeah, he was one of my residents. Yeah, then and damn, he was one of the nicest, calmest persons, and he was ever ready to teach. Yes, and God knows he impacted me so much in obstetrics and gynecology. Then moving on to internal medicine, I now happen to work with his wife. I was so intrigued, and then sometimes you see both of them going back home together. Okay, he finishes from O&G, finishes whatever he has to do for the day, and he waits for his wife, yeah, and yeah, they go back home together. They go to pick up their children and go back home together. That's a very beautiful collaborative. But I know that it will take a freaking whole lot. I know that sometimes she says, oh, we are going to pick up the children from the grandma's place and all, where you have a community to, yeah, to assist you. I feel like it's sort of easier. I don't know. But I honestly want to know what exactly, or what advice would you give? Now this video is for you that is up there. Please help us make these clarifications, help us make better informed decisions, help us just navigate this freaking help me. Yeah, help me navigate this freaking phase, yeah, for young female doctors who are looking to get married, looking to raise their families and all. How were you able to put all of this together? What were the compromises you had to make? Because honestly, I feel like, yeah, there are compromises you must have made. Yeah, I feel like there are compromises you must have made in order to, yeah, pull all of this together, yeah. And maybe if you're a guy and you've watched up to this point, yeah, if you're a man, if you're a male, if you're a guy, yeah, and you are married and yeah, you have a wife that is a high achiever literally and is putting all of this together in her own light. She's a female medical doctor and all of that, yeah. What other compromises did you have to make in order to let her dreams become a reality? At what point did you guys meet? At what, like, how were you guys able to navigate all of this? Yeah, raising children, especially those early ages of the children. Yeah. Now, another thing I keep thinking about most of the time, whenever these kind of thoughts come to my mind, is that I feel like there are priorities. Different people have different priorities. For someone, it might be, I need to raise very good children. I need to be ever present to my children 100% of the time. So they get to compromise in other areas of their lives, like careers and all. Which where this is where the whole selecting a very soft specialty and all of that comes in. Yeah, and I don't know. This is me, a different part of me thinking. Do you get? Yeah. So I really want to know, honestly. And if you are a young female medical doctor and you have similar questions or you've ever thought about this, yeah, I honestly want to know what are your thoughts. I know, yeah, well, it's not good to over worry or worry yourself about things that say are over there in the future. But I feel like it's always very good to plan ahead. Yeah, I feel like it's very good to, number one, know what you're getting yourself into, know what is out there, then to make better informed decisions. So I feel that's why I'm having this conversation with my camera right now. So yeah, I just needed to put this out there. This is a thought that have been on my mind. Imagine coming back at this spot where I am at, yeah, working as an emergency physician, yeah, literally, covering at the emergency department and all of that, and getting to stress work yourself out, a lot of back to back 24-hour calls and all whatnot. And then, well, how do you find time? How do you make it work? How do you, I don't know, it gets me thinking sometimes. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's that. So let me know in the comment section. Please let me freaking know in the comment section. And if you're here, if you're a new subscriber, we got a couple new subscribers last week, and I'm so grateful for that. Welcome to the family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, do well to subscribe. More beautiful things coming your way on this channel here. And I hope to see you guys again next week. Bye. Peace.